Hi, I'm Jackie Rabbit. I want to talk to you today about mentors and why they are so important, as well as some personality types. This stuff is kind of new to me, but I've been doing a lot of research and I want to share with you what I've found out. So let's go dig into it. Go give me a thumbs up and then go subscribe. Click the bell so you know when I post the next video. Let's go talk about why mentors and personality types are so important during transition. Come on with me, let's go check this out. Mentors are more important than we ever know. Now, you know what a mentor is, but have you considered having one during the course of transition? Where are you going with your transition? What is it you want to do during transition? And who do you want to be when you're done? One of the best things you can do for yourself, and maybe you've heard this, is to find a mentor that you respect and admire. Somebody who you possibly know, or somebody you've met, or somebody you might meet in the future. You don't have to know exactly who you want. You can have a group. You don't have to pick just one. I want to talk to you about my experience with mentors, why it was so important to me and my personal well-being, and why I think you need one too. So when it comes to me, I'm my own unique little deal, and I'm sure you are too. But things have changed for me in ways that are going to be difficult to describe, so I will do my very best. When I started transition, I didn't know what was going on. I assumed I would just be exactly the same person that I always was, but a girl. Well, I was wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. The process of transition and the journey one goes through changes you in a lot of good ways if you allow it. Now, I've talked before about how important it is to have a therapist, and I will absolutely keep telling you, you've got to have a good therapist on board. That is so important during the process. Definitely do that. But there is this component. There's this piece. If you can model yourself after somebody that you admire or respect, somebody that draws you to them, something about them makes them seem like a good person to emulate, well, that's where you can find your mentors. And it might be more than one person. I remember going to group and thinking that somebody along the way would be my friend. I didn't realize what I was really looking for was a mentor. Not really a friend, but somebody that I respected, somebody that I liked, that I wanted to emulate. And after a while, I got through this idea that I had a few friends that I liked. Most of the girls at group were what we would call a typical beta female. And a lot of the women that I've known throughout my life that I find in workplaces or in other places were very commonly beta female. Not that that's bad, it's just very common. But for me, having come from a more base of a beta male, really more of a follower, with some of my own unique things going on, but that's where I was. And it wasn't meshing for me in that department. I wasn't going to be the standard beta female. It just didn't seem like that's where I gravitated. I made a really good friend. And this friend taught me through the last 3 years several things. Mental positivity. A positive mental attitude gets you through many things that you could never hope to get through without. She taught me it's okay to be an individual and that I don't have to throw away anything from my male self that I like about myself. That I could shed those things which weren't positive if I chose to do this during the process of transition. There was no reason I couldn't shed myself or get rid of bad habits, bad nature, bad personality traits. You can do whatever you want during this process. And if improving yourself is high on your list, go for it. And again, your therapist is going to help you with this. But a good mentor will do much over the course of time to shape who you are. So recently I got involved in trying to figure out, so there's alphas, there's betas, there's omegas, and there's sigmas. And I realized I have a friend who's a sigma, and I like her a lot. I like everything about her. She's unique, doesn't care too much about what everyone else thinks of her, goes her own way, and is very, very personally attractive because she's such a unique individual and has her own really positive things about her that make her a very happy person to be around. And I was learning things from her not knowing this until recently. So as years have gone by, where this friend of mine has been trying to help me along the way with all the lessons that she's learned through life, and I've adopted many of them. And I will tell you, I have morphed into a Sigma myself. I am a Sigma female in the process of being. I have more to work on, but I'm definitely a Sigma female. Now, if you want to know what that means, because I'm not here to explain that one, I put together a playlist that says Sigma female personalities. If you go down into my channel, go to my playlists, you will see the one labeled Female Sigma Personalities. There's a few videos there. I went and tried to find some so I could share with you. Watch any one of those. They're not perfect, but they will give you a really decent understanding of what I mean by Sigma female. Now that going forward, I realized I was using tools from her toolbox to improve my own life. And it didn't cost her anything. In fact, it made her existence better because I was a better friend. The more I worked on it, the better a friend I was to her, and the better a friend and person I was in general to anyone. I had other people in my life, people who I realized they were successful in certain things, and I wanted to emulate that, and realized what they were doing was very attractive to me, and I wanted to be that too. I wanted to be that level of attractive on their skill level, their personality, whatever it was. A bit of a cafeteria type of deal. You get to do this during transition. This is the time you get to shape who you are on the inside as well as the outside. Take advantage of this and absolutely jump on top of the opportunity to make changes to your person now. It isn't very long. Think about this. 3 years, what is that? Like 1,000 days. Well, here I am, 1,000 days later. Would you really think that 1,000 days is terribly long? I look back and I'm telling you, 1,000 days is not very long at all. As a matter of fact, if you're in the beginning of your transition now, 1,000 days is going to go by faster than you think it is. This course of life goes over years and years and years. 1,000 days isn't that long. You need to work hard and fast to shape who you are inside, just like you are outside. It's important. And if you want to be someone who is a well-rounded, very unique individual who can maintain portions of herself that once were the ones you like, the things you like. You know, like I like guitars. You guys keep asking me about the guitars, right? That one right there, that is from 1983. When I was in high school, I worked as a TA at my mother's school with her all summer long so I could buy this at Reed's on sale, half price. Takamine GX 200T. I swear to you, when you open this case, it smells like 1983. It's lovely. And of course, here we have a 1984 Aria. And I got this as a fantastic player. I found it in a pawn shop and nobody wanted it. And I picked it up and it played so beautifully and I realized, oh, the 80s. And it has a Floyd Rose on it. And I'd always wanted a Floyd Rose tremolo. So not that I ever play that way, but I loved it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. There are other things about my past that I've retained, things that I didn't feel I needed to shed, things that are kind of boy, but kind of not. And as a Sigma female, I don't have to. In fact, Sigma females are often a little bit masculine. Sigma females are kind of stronger and they have bigger, rougher hands. That's interesting, right? And they are very independently thought processing type of people. They have unique hobbies and unique skills and unique ways that they work inside the world while still completely making their way as a chameleon through all the other phases of life. I'm totally a Sigma female. That's totally me. So, something else I'll tell you is not only do I like guitars, I like vacuum tube guitar amplifiers, and I'm so nerdy, I built my own. Vacuum tubes and all. I got the vacuum tubes from the Ukraine, and then I made the circuit board it goes on. I turned the brass turrets on a lathe that soldered all the way across the board. I put every component on there, and I soldered them all, wired it up all nice and neat and tidy. You know, put everything together. I even engraved where the volume knobs and the tone knobs, that's a plate that I engraved at work, put it all together in an old case that I had left over from a bunch of repair work that I did for somebody else. Had a dead amplifier, so I used the cabinet. I did make another one for someone else, and I made the cabinet, everything, covered it in Telex. I'm totally nerdy. I'm super nerdy girl. So, vacuum tube nerds. That's me. I was the AV geek in high school, okay? I'm the one that was wandering down the hallway with the cart, the television, and the VCR. That was me. I ran the video studio for the school. They had to hire me back just to run it the year I graduated because no one knew how to do it. The drama teacher had relied on me to do it. So the next year, they paid me to do it. That's how geeky nerdy I was. But that's just me, and I'm okay with that component of myself. I have retained it as a uniqueness to my person. You don't have to shed everything just because you don't think it's female. Just keep what you like and get rid of what you don't. And maybe a Sigma is who you're going to be too. Look, this is all big stuff, but you need to know the process seems like it takes forever when you start. When you're at day 10, when you're at day 50, when you're at day 80, it seems like everything's a mile away or more. It's not. It's going to happen faster than you realize. I promise you, 1,000 days goes by so much quicker than you have any idea. Don't stress. Just keep going and remember to work on the inside as much as the outside. Take care of yourself, and remember, if you need people who are going through this process, have been through this process, and need some advice or need someone to listen, remember, transgenderpulse.com is the place you want to go. The moderators and the members there are wonderful, and I'm there too, a little bit, once in a while, and you can catch up with me if you want to. Just ask around. They'll tell you where Jackie Rabbit lives. Take care of yourself. Remember, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be unique, and it's okay to be you. But be the best you that you possibly can be, and know that I care that you make it through this 1,000 days or longer, whatever it takes for you to be you. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye.